What's up, motherfuckers? The tournament is coming to the end, and in the ninth round against an Indian player, I decided to play the Benoni. I played this position in the past once in the Capablanca in Memorial Open against Reader, but okay, the game is not in the database, so I have this disadvantage that I haven't. Yeah, my opponent can prepare that, but okay, he know the theory, so he prepared a little bit. Maybe he know the theory from home, of course. Okay, he opened with d4, knight f6, c4, e6. I watched that he played this setup with g3 or the London system. I prepared both things. So okay, he finally plays g3, c4, c5. Sorry, going for the Benoni. I not used to play the Benoni, but against the g3 setup, this Benoni is not bad. For example, I never play c5 DLD, but just with g3 made it. I like this position more than with the pawn on g2. Okay, c5, d5. All the first move are more or less forced. Now I should play d6, stopping his d6. Knight c3, g6, coming into g7 with the bishop. Bishop g2, bishop g7, knight f3, sword castle, until here everything is forced. And here comes the first important moment. Here black have many options. I select rook e8, like in my game against Reader. Now I have many ways to play, but okay, the principal was rook e1, followed by d4. Now black have two plans. One is going to try to create, yes, to advance the queen side pawn, but if you play a6 all the time, white is playing a4, so that's not so useful. But here, black have some plans, like for example, play knight d7 here, and one day play knight g4 and knight, for example, bishop f4, knight g4. That's the theory that I know, and that's my game against Reader. Well, he played bishop d5 in our game. But that's the idea to trade a pair of knight on e5. And if bishop takes, sorry, if bishop takes, I have queen b6. So that's the one of the black ideas. But okay, my opponent came with bishop f4, and here the better response would bishop f5. What's the problem of bishop f5? That here we have knight h4. The best black move is bishop c8, and here return to f3. So now I'm in a little problem because I'm playing against an opponent low rated than me, and so, not so much low rated, but he have only 2000. So sorry, 2200, have 22 of rating, and I have 2370. So I have 170 more rating points than my opponent. So okay, if it was only 50 or 100 could be fine, but make a draw with a player with 170 low rated points, that's not my favorite thing. So I just try to, yes, I just decide to. I was thinking a little bit about that. Okay, just make a draw, but I go black make a draw. But no, I just decide to play. I enjoy chess, and I just play to. I just play chess to play chess and to enjoy the game, not to not more rating or more rating. I'm playing with black. No, I just want to enjoy the session. Of course, I know that other moves could be worse, but I just play to enjoy. I don't. Well, of course, I can play bishop f5 and bishop c8, but I not enjoy that. I enjoy play with yes, play, not make draws. I don't like the draws. Okay, if the game is a draw, it's a draw, but in the open, I don't like to make a draw in the open. Okay, if the opponent is better than me and I go with the black pieces, okay, fine. I'm not going to break my brain, but okay, I just try something. I play a6, just okay. I expect a4, but my idea just came to f5, and I hoping that he just try something and not play knight h4 again. But okay, he still playing knight h4 all the time. Bishop c8, knight f3, and now I should change again because bishop f5 is going to be draw. So yeah, I just change again with 95 and 94. Okay, it's not the best move, but I just want to make something. By the way, it's not a bad move. Knight takes, rook takes 92, rook before, rook a2, defending the pawn and leaving the pin. And here I make a incorrect plan, but the correct plan is also strange. Here look like I need the breakthrough b5 to can open this fight for the rook and save the rook because okay now the rook looks safe, but after some b3, knight c4, bishop d2 plan, the rook will be trapped on b4. So I look like I need the b5 breakthrough. But I have an extra idea with a5, b3, b6, knight c4, and bishop a6. Queen c, queen, sorry. This doesn't look so good because now I can take, and bishop takes. That is more or less obvious that here I have enough counterplay. But queen c2 take, and queen e7. That's a very strange, very strange defense by very strange defense by white. And I suppose I'm not analyzed, but I suppose that after bishop here, I don't know what I suppose. Knight a6. Yes, or yes, the machine just gives the same with knight e7. And he take with the pawn, and the knight is coming to c5. Great idea, very good plan. By the way, knight a6 is playable too. Very good plan to place the knight on c5. So a5, that's the correct plan. I play g5 for some reasons. First, the bishop is attacking a7, and I just want to develop the knight to e7. So I don't like the bishop on f4. And the other reason of why I made g5 is that now after bishop e3, the pawn on e2 cannot advance. And white plan in this position used to be advance the a-pawn. So I just stopping the a-pawn to advance. So I was thinking that d5 was a good move. Here bishop f5. Here I was thinking between bishop f5 or queen e7. Because again, one day I should play b5 to open the rook. I just waiting a little bit. Bishop f5, b3, knight d7. I was thinking about that, knight c4. B6, bishop d2. Or if knight d3, knight f3, I have h6 and rook e4. I was thinking about this type of lines. But okay, finally I chose queen e7, defending d6, developing the queen, attacking the bishop. Now he cannot play f4. And later I'm going to play with f4, knight d7, and develop the pieces. b3, I decided to play b5 deal because okay, I was thinking about knight d7, but here annoying me so much the move knight f3. But with knight c4, okay, now I can play b5. But I doesn't see anything clear after knight f3. Okay, b5, a takes b5, rook takes b5, and now sorry, knight d4 played by my opponent, h6 defending the pawn. Queen d3, queen d3 is a very bad move. The queen is so bad placed on d3. Here I play knight d7, who is not so bad, but was stronger just bishop f5 according to the machine. And if e4, just go back. And if queen takes, now entering this position, who the machine say that black is better, sorry. But okay, now the idea of queen d3 of course is attack the rook and black recapture take on a8. But okay, I decide to allow that, but in my own terms with knight d7. Here better move for him was h4 or something like that. Of course, if white doesn't make nothing, now I'm coming with rook here, 95, and looks like white could have some troubles, but just h4 looks like black have enough time to create counterplay in the king side. Queen b5 is a mistake. After a takes, rook takes, knight b6, rook a5, knight d5 on this line is forced, rook takes. Here, the move f5 doesn't work, because here white have rook b8, queen c7, and knight d6. I don't know what I'm missing here. Let's see. One second on my computer because I don't analyze fully this game. Okay, I analyze the game, but I don't remember what I missed. Okay, here I missed this move too. If queen takes and rook d1, yes. Sorry. But okay, during the game I was just thinking about rook b8 and knight d6, so that's why I doesn't play f5. Because okay, the idea of with f5 is if the knight goes back, now I can just take and the knight is trapped. That's the point of f5. Here was just better to play positionally with knight ac3, take this bishop, and now the best move is queen c7, covering the b8 square. I just missed this move, I just don't think about that. I was thinking about bishop g4, bishop a6, I was thinking about these things, but I just missed the move, queen c7. Because of course, take on e3 looks good positionally, but you need to play queen c7 later. Because if not, the rook is putting some. Because, for example, if you play bishop a6, rook b8 and bishop h3, so annoying. Or maybe there are sacrifices with the knight d6 yet. Knight d6 and bishop e4 later. So for that reason, I miss. I was, of course, take what I miss queen c7. So I just play bishop f5. Here the machine gives this defense with knight d6 and rook d1 all the time the machine defending this way. I just miss this defensive idea. I just miss. Me and my opponent, we both miss the defensive idea. I was thinking that he should play knight c5, but okay, knight c5 is completely lost after queen e3 and bishop g6. Okay, I was thinking that my position was fine, but I don't think that is completely lost. Instead of that, he played rook b8. So, but the problem is that he played so fast without think, and that's used to be bad because the position is so difficult. And play rook b8 so fast looks like a bad idea. Maybe he expect only king h7 because here he have this tactic, but now I have the strong move bishop f8. Okay, he can play take here, take here, take here, take here, take here, take here, take. But okay, queen f6, and I'm not completely sure about the evaluation of the position because yes, it's a difficult position. Maybe a white black could be slightly better, but it's not going to be easy to win. Maybe the game will end in a draw, but it's not a easy line, of course. Instead of that, he played rook a1, trying to create counterplay and take on f8, but this move lost the game in a forced way, more or less. Bishop a4 could move rook a8, bishop d2, and here again, maybe he could take here, but no. Sorry, what I was no, what I was thinking here. I just don't remember what I was thinking here. Yes, maybe I can play here and enter in the case thinking, but I was thinking about f5, I think. No, take or no, I was thinking sorry about take and f5. That's my plan here. I was thinking about that. But okay, he take directly on f8, and now I should choose between two positions. I play that position, who looks better for black, but I don't know if completely win or not. But looks like black is better here, of course. It looks so promising for black. But I have the extra option of entering the king game. Okay, we have both the same pawns, but black have the problem is that the e pawns are double apart. Black have a option of create a pass pawn, far pass pawn in the queen side. Black have is going to have more space with the pawn, so there are some reasons who say that black will win this game. And apart, I calculate correctly, and I after take on f8 because I always before entering a king game, if you have time in the clock, calculate every precisely because there are not one of the most difficult, but they are so concrete. If or you are win or it's a draw. It's not okay. I'm putting pressure. No, there are not pressure. There are or you are win or you are lost. Well, forget about the rest. So the before entering a king in a pawn segment, you should calculate so accurately. Rook takes, king takes, and now takes an important move f5, stopping d4 and stopping e4, and not allowing white to take space with the e pawn. King f3 and second important move d5, stopping e4. If white manages to play e4, he's going to be fine. So d5 very important move. d4 doesn't work because okay, I have c4 here, or just take and c4. So he decides to return with the king to defend. King f2. And now here I was thinking about playing g4, but we haven't so much time in the clock. So first I came with the king to d6, and later finally I calculate accurately and I fix the queen side, sorry, the king side with g4. Very good move. And another important thing is that now I have an extra tempo with h5, king c3, king c6. Example, if he plays before, now I have c4, important move king b2, king here, and if king e3 or king c3, well, no, sorry, if king e3, here I have the important, very important extra tempo h5. That's the winning move here. That's the key of the game, that I always have this extra tempo who in the king game are so useful always. Okay, king b2, king b6, king here, king a5. Now I finally create a pass pawn. Important thing with the pawn, take with the king is a draw. So creating a pass pawn, and white have a pawn majority in the king side, but thanks to the double pawns he cannot create a pass pawn because the double pawns are worse if are in the offensive side or in the side that you have the pawn majority than if are in the side where there are the same pawns or you have less pawns. Because the double pawns are good defenders in a king game, but Yes, but there are very bad attackers because cannot create a fast pawn with them. You can defend, but you cannot attack with these pawns. For that reason, I create a pawn majority for me in the queens, and I create a pawn majority for white in the king side, but who cannot make any progress. King b2, c3, king c2, and here I just hang the white pawns to the white king, sorry, to force white to move the pawns. So I play a4, he should play e3, and now I play h5. White is forced to advance this pawn, so here I can take, he can advance the other, and now I'm going to promote and give checkmate. I have an interesting line to win the game that I saw, of course, but I just decided to, okay, don't make stupid things and just win the aces way. But I calculate that f4 is winning here, because, okay, white cannot move the king, f takes h5, and okay, you can push the pawn that you want, and you are going to promote first, but sometimes the lasts are going to be the first. It's one checkmate. So very interesting way to win the game, but I don't make that. I end with f takes, e3, and h5, and here my opponent resign. Okay, for the highlights could be fine, but I just play for the result, not for the highlights or for the show. And okay, good victory. I My last victory was in the round five, so there are four, yes, 4 games without victory, or yes, many games without victory. No, three. Okay. But okay, good victory to still in the tournament, and let's see what's happening in the last round. Bye bye, motherfuckers.